I'm Phil Grotenhuis. I'm the pastor of the Phoenix United Reformed Church. One thing about Phoenix, it is one of the most populous cities in the U.S., I think currently ranking 6th in the nation, and it is rather religiously diverse. But what's rather interesting, one study has noted that 60% of Phoenicians are what we call unclaimed. That is, they don't identify with any formal organized religion. That then provides, I think, a real opportunity for a church like ours to bear what the Bible calls the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ, to such individuals, especially who are unclaimed. You know, really quite simply, if there's one thing that I can bring to bear and have it reflect our church, it is, and it's going to sound very simple for people, but it is Jesus. And that Jesus has come into this world by the grace of God to heal what is broken, to save that which is lost, to free that which is enslaved. You don't even have to be a Christian to recognize that things are not the way that they should be. Look at yourself, look at me, look at the world in which you're living, because you see the scarring effects of sin everywhere. We think the antidote to that is what the Bible calls the gospel of the kingdom. People figure if they can just jump through this hoop and do this and do that, and as long as I don't smoke or I don't drink or I don't dance or I don't do these kinds of things, that somehow that becomes, if I may say this, meritorious in the eyes of God. The Bible teaches us that in our sin we are absolutely dependent upon God. We cannot climb a ladder in any way to merit the salvation and the liberation that God gives us in Jesus Christ. God is the one who must take the initiative, and He is the one who must come down to us in Jesus Christ, give us rebirth through His Spirit, grant us the gift of faith, and enable us through our wills to, as the Bible says, will and do according to His good pleasure, so that we might ultimately come to the point of repenting and believing in Jesus Christ, and then coming to that point of forgiveness and liberation. In a Reformed church, you'll find these kinds of things, an emphasis on glorifying God in everything that we do. That the Christian faith is not first and foremost about us, it's about Him, living for His glory, knowing Him, glorifying Him, enjoying Him forever. Another emphasis that you'll find within the Reformed tradition is an emphasis on the kingdom, that Jesus Christ has come to establish His rule in this world, calling all individuals to submit joyfully to that rule as He is the Lord of Lords and King of Kings. We as a church here are not just a broad, what we call today, evangelical church. We believe in the evangel, the gospel, but we have an understanding of the gospel within the context of what we call the Reformed faith or Reformed theology. We have a high view of the church. We have a high view of the ministry of preaching and the sacraments. We want to not only experience the treasures of the Reformed faith ourselves and the gospel, but we want to make sure that others are brought into an appreciation of the gospel of the kingdom and the distinctives of the Reformed faith as well. And we want to do that for our city. And we think it's really important, if I can add this, we think it's really important because it's generally recognized that cities are the engines of the culture. It is our desire to speak to those who are hearing right now, for you who are hearing right now, and we want you to come into maybe either for you an initial understanding of the gospel, or maybe for you're already rooted in the gospel, that you may come to a more expansive understanding of the gospel through the teachings and through the ministry of this church. When you come to this church, you will find a people who genuinely, and many of them genuinely, want to grow in their understanding of what it means to truly know God, serve Him, glorify Him, and enjoy Him forever.